Tonight, authorities announcing an immigration crisis in the Florida Keys. Hundreds of migrants making landfall in the chain of islands. Over the weekend, cell phone video taken by a Telemundo reporter capturing a desperate attempt to reach the mainland.
I kind of stood out and I saw someone waving something white.
A Celebrity Beyond cruise ship forced to make a rescue.
And the captain announced that there were some people on the boat that they were going to bring over.
In the last few days, authorities say an estimated 500 migrants have arrived along the Florida Keys. Customs and Border Protection reporting a 400% increase of migrant encounters in the Miami sector since October 1st. Boats and debris now scattered along the beaches. This morning, a group of about 200 Haitian migrants making it to land as other boats waited in the wings to make landfall. The influx leading to what officials are calling a humanitarian crisis.
We've been experiencing in the past, we'd have a migrant landing every week or two, but several months ago, our landings started turning into 2-3 landings a day. We're seeing yesterday we had 10 migrant landings.
Yesterday, that increase even shutting down the remote Dry Tortugas National Park in the Gulf of Mexico so police and medical personnel could, quote, evaluate, provide care, and coordinate transport to Key West for approximately 300 migrants. Adding, like elsewhere in the Florida Keys, the park has recently seen an increase in people arriving by boat from Cuba. Miami Border Patrol chief tweeting out, during the past 72 hours, Border Patrol agents have responded to a high volume of migrant landings in the Florida Keys. In the last 3 months alone, the U.S. Coast Guard says they have intercepted more than 4,000 Cuban migrants compared to 6,182 for a whole year from October 2021 to September of 2022. They say more than 220,000 Cubans have come through the U.S.-Mexico border in the last fiscal year. Many of those migrants fleeing from shortages of food, medicine, and power, as well as a crackdown on anti-government protests. The surge continuing to put a strain on local resources.
There doesn't seem to be a plan from the federal government. If asked, I'm sure they tell you they got a plan, but we'd like to see it. And if they have it, it doesn't seem to be working on this environment.
All right, Guad Venegas joins us now from the Florida Keys. Guad, the numbers keep going up and the boats continue to come. Do we know why now, right now at this month?
Well, Tom, we've seen this from other countries as well, right? But I can tell you specifically, you look at Cuba. I was there 2 months ago when the hurricane hit. The hurricane took out a lot of the crops. The people that were already complaining, not just because of the food shortages, but also the high prices, saying it's becoming unaffordable to live there. So you can imagine now what it's like. Same with Haiti. These are individuals that have no other options but to take this journey and try to come to the U.S. like we've seen it happen in the last few weeks, also through land. So we're now seeing it here in the Florida Keys, Tom.
Yeah, we heard the sheriff in your piece calling for the federal government to step in. What have they done in any type of capacity so far?
Well, Tom, we spoke with the sheriff's department and we asked them what they were doing. Today, the 200 migrants that arrived from Haiti. So what they told us is that they're offering support. So they say that whenever someone reports migrants coming in, the officers will come by for support as they wait for federal authorities to come and take over, giving the help that the migrants need and eventually taking them to a processing center.
Yeah, and I want to ask you what happens there, because we saw a lot of these migrants coming ashore and then high-fiving. Possibly, it stands to reason those were Cubans coming here thinking they'll be able to stay longer. Do we know, after they're being processed and treated by medical personnel, where they go after this?
Well, Tom, all migrants that come to the U.S. land or through the ocean have to go through this processing that is done by CBP, and that's where federal officers will talk to them. They will interview them, take all their information, and decide if the individuals are then given an opportunity to remain in the U.S. and seek asylum. But there is a possibility that the Haitians get put on a plane and expelled back to Haiti. And now the U.S. has a new arrangement with Cuba where Cubans can also be put on a plane and expelled back to Cuba. All of that is a possibility, or federal agents can allow them to remain in the U.S. as they go through that asylum-seeking process, Tom.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.